Learning Strategies by Dawn King. Everyone has a method of learning that works best. There are 4 learning styles: visual, auditory, sometimes called oral, read-write, and kinesthetic. Identifying your learning style is key to performing well on tests. The BART questionnaire is the best way to determine your style. A self-assessment is available at educationplanner.org. Once you determine how you learn, use those strategies to study. Visual learners learn best using images. You should study pictures, watch videos, underline and highlight notes, make flowcharts and graphs. During the test, you should recall pictures used when studying and draw diagrams and flowcharts. Auditory learners learn by hearing and speaking. Strategies for learning include reading notes out loud, listening to tutorials and lectures, and downloading podcasts on your phone. During the test, visualize, talk to someone about the questions. Speak out loud or inside your head. Read-write learners should make lists and take notes. Look up vocabulary words or write out the definitions. Other strategies include reading handouts, textbooks, and notes. During the test, the read-write learner should write out the exam answers and make short lists of information remembered from the study material. Kinesthetic. Kinesthetic learners are doers, and they learn best if they are moving and doing something while they are learning. They benefit from taking notes, making flashcards, or any form of learning as long as they are actually moving or doing something else, such as listening to music or pacing the floor while they study. During the test, they should keep their fingers busy, use fidgets that do not disturb other test takers, and stand up occasionally if allowed. Most people are multimodal learners and will use at least 2 learning styles. Identifying and mastering the learning strategies that work best for you will help you develop successful test-taking skills.
Test-taking anxiety by Carly Smith. What is test-taking anxiety? Test-taking anxiety is a feeling of agitation or distress. Test anxiety may be a physical or mental response you experience before or during an exam. It is normal to feel some anxiety before a test, but too much anxiety may be harmful to your exam performance. Why test-taking anxiety relates to testing anxiety. When taking a test, it is important to make sure a person has a clear vision and mindset before taking a test. Many people of all ages suffer from test-taking anxiety or some types of anxiety. Knowing what test-taking anxiety is and how it can be treated helps when taking tests. Having outlets or having strategies to deal with test-taking anxiety is the first step in managing the skills needed to improve oneself. When in doubt, it is always better to deal with anxiety or stress before it is too late. Test-taking anxiety both can affect the end result of a test, and that is the grade. How test-taking anxiety may affect a person. Physical, fast heartbeat, upset stomach, headache, tension, sweaty, shaky, and getting nervous tics, fidgety, and panic attacks. Behavior, not being able to make a decision and going back and forth, being indecisive, trouble, and staying focused. Emotional, edginess, restlessness, or frequent uncertain, irritable, and angry may be some of the symptoms that occur before taking a test. Causes. Worrying about not being able to succeed. Someone who has doubts of not being able to perform at the rate needed. Pressure from outside sources, feeling inadequate, not feeling confident in the material. Lack of studying, cramming, having bad experiences with test taking, time restraints, expectations to do well, lack of confidence in oneself, role models putting people down and saying they will not do well. Do you have testing anxiety? Select those statements that relate to you. 5 symptoms you may experience test anxiety. And if you experience 10 or more, you may be suffering from severe test-taking anxiety. What to do before the test to prepare. Review the material in advance. Don't cram. Know the ins and outs of the test. Keep an open communication with your professor. Visual representations and flashcards can help. Do not procrastinate. Do a pretest. Tell yourself you can do this. Stay positive. Give yourself time in between to digest the materials. Don't rush studying. Remember, the average person can remember 2 to 5 things consecutively, so don't fill the space up with negative thoughts. It can take up valuable space. What to do when taking an exam. Read all the instructions and directions. Don't look at the clock. When you are done answering your questions, go back to the ones you skipped. Sometimes other questions will jog your memory or give you clues to the answer. Don't worry about finishing first. Just make sure you finish confident in yourself and the answers. Do your best and don't fall into the swirling vortex of anxiety and fear. Remind yourself you did all you could. You can handle this test. You are a great test taker. Overall, how to deal with test-taking anxiety. Be prepared. Use test-taking strategy skills. Evaluate your attitude and mood. Stay focused on the material and situation at hand. Don't stress. Give your body time to relax before the test so you're not in a hyper state of mind. Give yourself TLC. Practice healthy habits. Visit the counseling center. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Have a healthy mindset and watch what you think. After all is done, relax and treat yourself to do something nice. After evaluate, even if it's a small list on how you can do better for yourself next time. Test-taking anxiety may be something you deal with, but it does not have to define you. Hack Counseling Services. Hack Counseling Service offices support students in the academic success. Hack provides services that promote intellectual and emotional and social development. Hack professional counselors provide academic, career, and personal counseling. Counselors can also provide information and community resource. These include legal, financial, and mental health services. The places listed below are where you can find help near you.
Test-taking exams by Noah. Test-taking techniques by Polhemus. For taking essay exams, make sure you are ready for the test both mentally and physically. Listen carefully to the final instructions of the teacher before you take the test. Begin taking the test immediately and watch time carefully. Don't spend too much time answering one question that you run out of time before answering the others. Read all the essay questions carefully, paying special attention to the key words. Ask the teacher to clarify any questions you may not understand. Think before you write. Jot down all the important information and work it into a brief outline. Write concisely without using abbreviations or non-standard language, and revise and proofread your essay as carefully and completely as you can before you run out of time. Taking math exams. Be prepared at the exam and be on time. Write down any formulas you need to remember for the exam. Read instructions carefully. Skim the test and do those questions you know immediately. Do the problems you can, but do not take more time than allotted. True and false exams. In true and false tests, your first hunch is usually correct. Don't change an answer unless you are very sure of changing it. If any part of the statement is false, the whole statement is false. Matching question exams. Work with only one column at a time. Match each item in the column against all items in the second column until you find the proper match. Marking through matches about which you are certain so that it will be easy to match out the rest about which you are unsure. Cross out the words you have used as you go along to avoid confusion. Multiple choice exams. Read over all of your options. Eliminate highly implausible answers. Some examiners will give answers in their tests by using one question. You may not be able to realize the answer to another question. Be aware of words like always, never, only, must, and completely. These are usually the wrong answers since there are many exceptions to rules. These are extreme words that are more than likely to be wrong. Helpful tips. Before you take your exam, make sure to get at least 8 hours of sleep the night before. Eat a good breakfast the day of the test. During your test, read all test directions carefully and survey the entire test before answering any questions. Budget your time so you will be able to complete the entire test. Read the questions carefully and answer those you're sure of first. If there's no penalty for wrong answers, guess. Try to save your time and review your answers before submitting your test. Also, always be sure to utilize HACS resources. Great learning strategies, managing anxiety, and good test-taking skills all come together to give you the ultimate success on tests.